Okay, so this is the exercise we're going to be focusing on, just this one, okay? But among all these tasks, I'm going just to try to do one by one, because this is what I'm expecting you to do. Okay, so first things first, we'd like to create a class called customer, and then within the customer class add an overloaded method called setCustInfo. And depending on how the setCustInfo method is called, it does one of the following: sets the ID, name, address, and phone number for a customer object. This is the minimum information needed for a new customer. And then sets the ID, name, address, phone number, and email address for a customer object. And then we need to create a test class called customer test, and in the main method in that test class we're going to create two object references to different customer objects, and then we are going to use these different variations to test these two setCustInfo and display the content of each customer object. Okay, to do this, let's create the project. Okay, for the project in NetBeans, I'm going to create the class first that has the main. Which one has the main? Customer test. I'm going to create this one. You can do any way, I mean, it will work, but this is the easiest way, so you don't have to do a lot of different changes. I'm going to create the one with the main first, and then I'm not going to touch it. I'll leave it for next, and next right away I'm going to I don't want to put that in packages, so I'm going to put this in all no packages, just for the purpose of easily sharing this this file. So I'm going to add to this class this customer test, right click, new, and I'm going to add in the same package a new class. And don't want main class, just new class, Java class. So in here I'm going to call it customer. It's very important to respect the naming that I'm asking you to do, because if we say this is the class that I would like you to create with this name, you have to respect that name. If you don't, well, if it's a quiz, for example, or an exam, I'm going to take some marks because of that. So customer, this is my class, and I'm finishing. Now I have this class customer, and I'm going to, within this class, create this overloaded method called setCustInfo. I'm going to call it. So this setCustInfo, what does it do? Well, it is called by setting the ID, name, address, and phone number of a customer. That means a customer, the class customer, has some variables that are ID, name, address, and phone number. So all these are variables within the class. So I need first then to declare those variables. So what are those variables names with data types? First, the ID can, let's say, int ID, and then I have name, address, and phone number. All these should be string. Name, address, and phone number. It's a string because I can put like parentheses if I want, a space if I want. I can use it as a number, but the problem with the number, how can I store this 050 something, for example? The 05 at the beginning is going to be lost, because if it's a number, it's not going to be stored. So string is better for a phone number if all of them are numbers. Also, if I would like to put like these numbers 1, 3, for example, these 3, 4, 2, and so on. So if I put the parentheses, I need it to be a string. So now that I declared these, I need to declare my method setCustInfo. Public, because generally this is what we do. We make it all public. And then what's next? What's the return data type of this? Very good, because I'm not returning anything, I'm just setting some information. I don't need to return anything, so I'm going to for the void, and then this is the name. And then do I need parameters here? Walaikum salam. Do I need parameters? How do I know if I need a parameter or not? Do I need some information to come from outside so I can save it inside the class? No? Yes? I don't know. I need information. What kind of information do I need? The ID, the name. So I'm going to be giving me some ID, some names, some phone numbers, and some address, I'm going to take these and save them inside the class. So I need some parameters. So because these are the arguments that this method is dealing with, because this method takes those and save them into the class object, the customer. So let's do that. So we need int ID and string name, another string address, and another string phone or phone number. I can just leave it as phone. ID, name, address, and phone number. So these are the ones that are going to be taken from. I'm expecting some arguments, so I can take them and then save them inside the class. Is it clear, or should I display this on your screens? On your screens? So now that I have done that, the next step is to put the code. Well, the code is very simple because I'm not doing a lot of things. I just need to take this and put it here, take this and put it here, and so on. And I intentionally use the same name in the parameters for some of the parameters, like the ones that we have in the class. Because you remember, there's a way how to deal with that by using this. So I'm going to use this ID equal ID. So now this, if I click on this and I can see the highlight that helps understand that this is the parameter and this is the ID of the class. So I'm going to be doing the same, copy and paste, and then maybe just copy here and copy. What about this phone? You see the phone? I don't have phone here, but I have phone number. So actually, in this phone number, I don't have to put the this. But if I put it, is it wrong? No. So I'm going to leave it. And that's the first part of this. This is the first method, set customer. This is what I was expecting you to do. Now the next one, what should it do? Now you can help me more because you can see now clearly what I wanted. So I have another one that sets the ID, name, address, phone number, and email address for a customer object. So should be very similar. I'm going to copy and paste, and instead of having only these, I need to add something. It's all the same plus the email, right? So I'll need to add the email, which is a string, email. However, I did not put the email here, so I need to declare it here as well. And then, very easy, copy and paste, and then email, and email. And that's it. I'm done with this first part in the customer. Now the second part is about this customer test, which is in the main I'm going to create two references of these objects, which means I go here, and what should I do here? Scanner? No, we don't. We didn't ask. We don't have to, but we need to instantiate. So, customer. Give it a name. New customer. And how many of these do we want? 2. So I'm going to do the same with customer 2. Now we would like to use each variation of setCustInfo to provide the information for each this customer object. So what I'm going to do, for example, in this C1.set, we choose which one of them. Let's say this one. So this is the ID. Let's say 1. This should be the address, the name. And you can see with the tab, I just move, and I don't have to click and move my hands out of the keyboard, which makes it faster for me to type and finish the things. It's easier for you to do that, so it will take less time for you to check the mouse, click there, or maybe go with the up. So it's very easy. It just goes with the tab or shift tab to go back.
What did you click?
Tab, Shift tab.
C1 tab off.
What I did to have this, just C1 dot, and then I selected what I wanted to use, or maybe just start typing set, and I see what starts with set. Pressed enter, and that's it. Now I can just fill this the arguments with the tab. I'm moving from one to the next. With the shift tab, I can go back. So say Muhammad, the address, I don't know, I'm going to put, for example, Jubail, and then this is supposed to be the phone number. Okay, 0133429,000, which is, you know, this number? No, this is the college's number. You should know it. I don't know. You don't call them.
They don't answer.
Yeah, they do. Of course they do.
And some semester I call them.
Well, maybe at specific times they might not, but they are. I know that they are answering. There's one person, more than one. Just this is his job, to answer the phone. Okay, now set customer. So now I'm using the second one. As you have seen, I have more arguments that need to be entered. So let's say this is 2, and Abdullah, I don't know, Mecca, and the phone. What is the phone of Mecca again? 011 something. 012. 11 is Riyadh. Yeah. Good. Okay, the email, my@email.com. So now that I have answered this, let's go back here and see. So I've created these two references. I used each of those variation methods to enter the information for each of this customer object. The last thing that is needed now is to display the content of each customer object. You have noticed that when I declared actually my customer, I did not put any private or getters and setters, just for the convenience, because I didn't ask to. But so the minimum, I'm just going to show you the minimum that was required, and then what is best, I'm going to add it later on. But the minimum is this. This is the class that was required, and this is the test class that is required, except now I just need to display the information. So in order for me to display that information, I should say, for example, let's say customer 1, and this is what I'm going to be displaying for the customer 1. Let's say C1 dot, and I can see like the ID, and then let's put a plus, and then maybe a space, and another one, C1 dot name plus space plus C1 dot address plus maybe a space again, and plus C1 dot email, because I have the email. Of course, I didn't enter the email for the first one. It should be empty, but I'm going to be doing the same. And you know what? I'm lazy to do some changes. What I'm going to do, I select these. I'd like to show you something maybe you don't know. I selected this and then Control H. What it does actually in this Control H, I just would like to replace, find and replace. So I'm going to find what this C1 and replace it with C2. And I'm going to make sure that it starts at the right place. So let's go to the previous, you see here, and then I'm going to replace, 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 replace. I don't want to replace the rest, so I'm done. Finish, and you can see this is much easier, and it sometimes prevents some mistakes or maybe forgetting some that needed to be changed. So again, Control H, or maybe you can go here. I think it's View, Edit, probably. Edit, replace. Find. Also, you show find. You can do something there. Okay, so this is what was needed. Let's run this and see. Now I can see one Muhammad Jubail null. What is this null again? I forgot the phone then, because I was expecting something. So this is the phone, and Let's run it again. You have the phone, and this is the email that is null because I didn't put anything. Well, what happened? I don't want to see that null. What I can do is that inside here, since I didn't give me anything for the email, I can put, well, this is optional. Starting from now, I'm just doing optional things to improve this class. I can do something like this, which is much better than having this null. If I don't have it, let's make it empty. So this is another thing that is better, right? Another thing is, as you have noticed, every time I'm just copying and pasting, that doesn't seem good. It should be something like I can use some like output, or let's show details, for example. Show details. And I should do something like this, and now just call this, and then have it all show this to me. Or maybe, you know what, just remove this, just call it like that, without even being able to return anything. Just do something like this, might be more interesting. Just show details, I don't have to copy and paste. I put it in one place, and it's going to be showing the details for me. So this is something that is still optional, and I'm going to do it this way. I named it, but I didn't create that. But it tells me create the method as, you know, some hints. What can I do to fix this? Create the method show details in customer. That's what I want. I click on it, and you can see now. Go back here. It prepared all for me. I just make sure that it's public, and I remove this throw. And this is something that we might be talking about maybe at the end of the semester. And here I'm going just to put whatever I need to be showing. Let's say what I was doing before is this ID plus, and then plus name plus a space plus address plus a space plus phone number plus another space, and then plus the email. So now if I run it, it just displays the same information, except that, you know, I don't have to copy and paste here. So everything is neat, and I can do something like this. Customer check. So it's much better. Or maybe just customers, and they have 1 and 2. Anyways. Another thing that I can do is to make those private, because I don't need to access them directly. I can make those private if I want, or maybe if I haven't shown you this, maybe you like what I'm going to show you now. If you have something like this and you would like to create the getters and setters, like the mutators and the accessors. You remember the difference between mutators and accessors? Which one is which? Mutator, what it does? It sets, so it's the setter. It changed the information. And accessors is the get. I access. So look here, I can go into refactor. Very important. In this refactor, there's something called encapsulation fields. Actually, if I click on it, it shows me all my variables inside the class, and it tells me, what do you want to do? Do you want to get of this ID, or maybe get and set, or maybe just only the set, or just the get? It's up to you. You decide. Or maybe just all. I just want all of them, get and set for each one of them. And I just select what I want, and then click refactor, and everything is done for me. Look at all of them now. They are private, and you can see now I have this get ID, set ID, get name, set name. All are set for me. I don't need to change anything. And what it does, it just protected those variables from being accessed outside of the class, and it gave these accessors and mutators to be able to change them if I need to. Again, this is optional. This is not part of what was asked here, but I'm just showing you the way to improve what we had. But the minimum, it was before we saw all these improvements. So this is what I was asking you to do. Do you have any questions regarding this? You feel that you can do it again now without any assistance?